Okay, what I've got here is the Holdfast moneymaker, and it's a leather strap. And Holdfast is a very high-end strap for your to hold your camera. Now, I originally had this, which connects, and this was originally on it, which is like a sail clip, I guess he calls it on Holdfast, which I can't stand because it makes all kinds of noise and it rattles, and I really don't think it's that safe. I originally had this on here. So what I've done with this Holdfast moneymaker is over here we had rivets, and I took these rivets off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this clip on instead. And this is going to hold this here. And that's going to give me lots of play. Now there's also a lock on here. So there's no way for that to come off. I'm actually going to paint this little clip red. So this is actually called a Magpul paraclip sling attachment, and it's a Mag 541. They run about 13 bucks. I'll have a link in the bottom. You want to pick it up. And you can get them off Amazon. Sometimes they're out. You got to look around, is what you got to do. So the idea is I'm going to also need these. Okay, and these are Chicago screws. So we took out the rivets, and we are going to put Chicago screws in instead. Now, if you're going to do this, you should go pick yourself up a leather punch, because once you get the rivets out, the holes are too small, and you're going to need to punch a bigger hole. And I'll have a link in the bottom of the one for like 9 bucks if you don't have one. You can also punch holes in your belts so you can make them tighter. I mean, I guess with the leather pouch, if a leather hold punch, I guess if you don't have one of these, you're looking at $13 for the Magpul. I mean, the punch is like 8 bucks. Chicago screws 9 bucks. And with the Chicago screws, you want to get 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter. That's what you're looking at. Okay, what I'm going to attempt to do is drill out these rivets. If you can see that there. And there's 2 of them on the Holdfast holster I use for my camera. Now the reason I'm doing this is you'll see this sail clip here. I don't like it. And I want to use this clip here that attaches to my my camera. So I need to remove the rivets to take the sail clip off. Now, hopefully we don't damage it, or it's going to be a very sad day. Now you want to make sure the rivets don't turn inside the leather, or you'll burn it. A guy on one of my subscribers told me about this, and I'm like, okay, so let's give it a shot and see what happens. So let's see how well we do with drilling these out. Okay, so let's see how this goes. It is turning inside the leather. Let's see about doing something different. But that is turning. Okay, I got it off. See here? So there's that SL thing. I don't need that. It rattles too much. And here's the final product. I got a little bit here and there I messed up, but I'm pretty happy with how that came off. Now, what I finally ended up doing, and it took me a good half an hour. Let's see if I can show you one here. Yeah, okay, see this here? What I did, and they tell you not to do this, but I took a flat screwdriver and I went underneath here. And then I lifted up a little bit to bend it up. Once I had it bended up enough, then I grabbed it with needle nose pliers, bent it a little more, and then I put a small pair of vice grips on it and worked it back and forth until it finally came off. And I finally got it. And I really didn't do any damage to it, so that's awesome. It's only a small piece of leather with some holes punched in it and dyed black. So really, if you mess that up, it wouldn't take much to replace that. So now I wait for a couple more parts to come in, and then I can replace this, you know, this so-called jiggy here he puts on to be fancy. The sail clip or whatever, which most people complain about, so, you know. I don't know why he rivets. I guess it's cheaper. If he would have just ran the screw types, he could took them off and replace what you want. So now, I really hate this thing. I really do. So now that's off. Now this clip is what I want that's going to go on that new thing that's coming in the mail. But I really didn't like this thing. Alright. When the clip comes in, the other stuff, I'll complete this video. And you'll see how that goes. But taking out the rivets, that's probably the hardest thing. The drill helped a little bit. But I may not have the proper bits. I mean, my bits are pretty old. I probably need to buy some new ones. And to be honest with you, if you're going to drill, get really brand new metal bits, and then it'll probably be a lot easier. But with taking the flat screwdriver, flipping it up seemed to work fine for me. Now, you don't have to, and again, I'll have the links in the bottom, but I'm going to use this, and this is thread locker, and basically it kind of semi glues the Chicago screws down, is what it's going to do. So we're looking at a tiny screw like that and a tiny screw like that. I need a flat screwdriver. So what we're going to do is these are going to be over top, and I'm going to punch these through here. So and when you punch these holes with that leather hole punch, you want them just a tiny bit smaller, or else you'll make them too big. And I'm putting the flat ones on the bottom, and then I'm going to flip this over. Now our clip, which is this, is going to go in there like that. And now that I've got everything lined up, at least I think I do, I got the one through there. Set them down there. Okay, now I've got my screws pushed through the leather, my Chicago screws. Ooh. Give me a napkin. I didn't expect that to come out like that. Hold it up. Okay. Got our thread lock in. And we're going to screw this into the leather. Well, into the screw on the other side. Okay, now you can see it there. And that worked really good. I don't see any scuffs when I pulled out my rivets. Now, as you can see here, I got the Chicago screws in. I got the Magpul clip there on this Holdfast Moneymaker solo strap. And you can see that opens up there. Which in turn, where'd my clip go? There's my clip. So then this clip's going to go on. And then I'm going to slide that forward. And now there's nowhere to open that. That is way better than that. Now, I can't take credit for this. This was suggested to me in my comments section by Jeff Sellenrick. And he also has a video that you can watch, and I'll have a link in the bottom. Now, he drilled out his rivets with a drill, which looked like they worked better than my drill press, because my drill press didn't look like it was grabbing. I had to take my rivets out with a flat screwdriver and a needle nose pliers, but mine worked out fine too. But you might want to check his video. So by comparing my video and his video, anybody that has a Holdfast, strap, then they can actually cheat and get rid of this sail thing. This thing's garbage. And I might just send an email to Holdfast. I mean, I think they should, give the option, of having this setup instead of this setup. It would be so much easier, when you order it. I don't see what the big deal is. Because I'm sure these fancy clips are probably, probably a good buck. I don't know what I'll use this for. But if you have a Holdfast strap and you want something a little bit more neater, and you want to spend, less than, 20 bucks, I mean, this is the way to go. And a big thank you to Jeff for pointing this out to me. I was a little bit scared. I was a little bit scared when I pulled these rivets out. I thought for sure I was going to wreck my my strap, but it actually worked a lot better than I expected. And these Chicago screws, like I said, they're 1/4 inch, and which is also 6mm, whichever one you want. That's what I've used there. So, and really, even if you messed this up, I mean, even if you messed it up when you were taking out the rivets, it's just a piece of leather. So you just have to get yourself another piece of leather to actually fix that, is all you'd have to do. But if you take your time with the rivets, the rest is completely easy. So here's a mod, a do-it-yourself, for changing out the sail clip on the Holdfast and switching it over to a Magpul paraclip with this connection here. Now, I like these connections because they connect directly to reallyright stuff. And there's other ones on the plate on the bottom. And I don't have any of those strings hanging off my camera, which I can't stand. A lot of people use those because I think they don't know this is out there. So anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one.